The technological advance of cameras and their quality are improving year by year. One thing, however, that stays true to its roots are the use of camera angles. You could have the best camera, but without the correct and professional camera angles, it can leave shots looking subpar. It is the person behind the camera rather than the camera itself. For Cabo City, I was tasked with the camera duty. Learning about the various camera angles and in what situation they look best was difficult. There was just an abundance of them that we found it hard at times to know where to place the camera to get the best shots possible. Over the course of the filming day, being on the camera so much meant that I was able to get a lot of first-hand experience, improving my knowledge to what looks good and not. One shot in particular that I feel is our best is this shot, in which the protagonist is seen sitting down with her back to the door and the presence of a flickering light to give life to the shot. The decision to frame the shot like this was down to a few factors, such as where we wanted to divert the audience's attention to. While in a lot of shots you'd want the main focus to be on the protagonist, in our shot, since we wanted to contrast the environment from our main character, having the background to be a lighter colour effectively gives the audience something other to look at, as well as having the flickering light in frame to represent our characters' on and off lifestyle.
In the process of making this film opening, I've learnt useful Photoshop skills that will be helpful in future media products. Being in charge of the typography for the film opening meant that I had to research for a suitable font that would conform to conventions of our chosen genre. Through research, I found that the most effective and suitable font would be Replica. However, we were unable to use it and we were unable to find a free version of the font that we could download. Because of this, I had to do further research into what font we could use. In our final product, we chose TWSen MT as it was the same font used for underground train signs. By using Photoshop to experiment with effects and colours such as a metal effect and a blur effect, we decided to conform to common conventions by making the text all capitals and white against a black background. This is similar to what we have seen in film openings for Fish Tank and Trainspotting.
From constructing this product, I have learnt many things about technologies, particularly technologies in editing. In our product, we wanted an example of Match on Action as she opens and closes the locket. To do this, we used Final Cut Pro, which allowed us to cut the shots to the length we needed in order for it to run smoothly. This was done by dragging the end of the clip in to cut off the beginning or end of the clip. When you drag the end of the clip in, it appears on the part of the screen that shows the video next to the next clip, so we can make sure they are in the same place from different angles. From the change of angle to close the locket, we decided to put in a black screen as the locket snapped shut. This was difficult as we did not want to do too fast-paced, otherwise it would be too different from the rest of the slow-paced film opening. This meant it took many attempts to get the timing of the snap to a black screen right. An example of Match on Action in a social realism film is in The Selfish Giant. The film opens with 4 shots of Arbor screaming, shouting and hitting the underside of his bed. The editing is slow-paced, but the action on the screen is fast, which is slightly different to ours, as the action in ours is slow, but the editing is fast-paced to make the snapshot at the right time.
Using programs like Final Cut Pro, I was able to create a soundscape. From past practicals, I was able to understand the complexity of sound created using layers. For our film opening, I utilised a mixture of non-diegetic urban sounds and diegetic sounds to create an almost realistic atmosphere. This is most successful, I believe, in the Match on Action scene, which I edited. I learnt to successfully position sounds and alter volume to produce a suitable noise for the visuals. For instance, the slight diegetic rustles and the locket snap was specifically positioned to fit the actions of Emma moving a hand and the locket closing. Compared to these somewhat quiet, realistic sounds, the heavy layering of loud non-diegetic sounds throughout the whole montage creates a somewhat abstract approach to be overwhelming and intimidating. Hence, this makes the protagonist appear more vulnerable. From this production, I have learnt about the effects sound has on the audience.